Morning everybody. Well, another walk today. I'm heading from the car park at Holborn up to St Cuthberts Cave, and then from there down to pick up the England Coast Path and finish on the Lindisfarne Causeway. If you can see me there, got a special guest with me today. Andrea's joined me for the first part up to the cave. Right, less talking, let's get on with some walking. And there it is, at the top of the hill there, St Cuthberts Cave. When I get to the top, I'll tell you a bit about it, but the history of St Cuthberts and why it's called St Cuthberts Cave. Right, St Cuthberts Cave. And why it's called St Cuthberts Cave is because the monks of Lindisfarne brought Cuthbert's body up here when the island was threatened by Viking raids. Cuthbert died in AD 687 and his body were moved and other relics in AD 875 to protect it from the Viking invaders. It's made of sandstone rock, and it's also, all the rock is supported by that one pillar there, so if that ever went, I don't know whether any of you are fans of Vera. There's Andrea coming uphill. But Vera did an episode here. It was called Tuesday's Child, Season 6, Episode 2. And on the programme, they actually called this area Lover's Retreat. I suppose Cuthbert's Cave probably didn't sound right. And also around here are the burial place of the Leather family, and there's supposed to be some sort of carving or memorial to them, so we'll see if we can see that. There, I found it, where the Leather family were buried. And if we go inside the cave, people's carved the names. See, there's one there from 1818, David Douglas, I think it says. 1956, 1898, 1877. Oh, there's one there from 1752. I don't like it myself, I think it's like desecration of a monument. There's that big pillar that's supporting all the rock. I think Andrea's having a sandwich now. Oh, she just shouted she's not. This bit's interesting. How this rock split like this. And then on this one, there's some more carving in tribute to the Leather family, but you can't really make out what it says. There's another one round this side. What's his name? Gerard Frederick Towlerton Leather. Fancy signing that on a checkbook. Right, this is me on top of cave now. It's been a bit higher. What a cracking view I've got. You see down there, you see the Kylo Hills, and then to my left there's the Cheviot Hills. Yeah, fantastic day, fantastic view. Right, and there she goes. Andrea's going back to the car now. And I'm going to continue on my way up there. That's where I'm heading. The footpath's there, and when I get there I should be able to see the sea. But I'm going to have to take some layers off because it's absolutely glorious. Absolutely stunning, this. Right. So unless there's been a mighty cock up on the navigation jobby. Oh, there it is. The sea. Looks like tide's out. And that's Lindisfarne Island, that. You can see it middle of the shot. What a view. I'll pan round. And I've come down that footpath, you can see it middle. Next part of the walk takes us through this pine forest. We're still on St Cuthbert's Way, and also sharing this footpath is another long distance trail called St Oswald's Way. But St Oswald's Way goes south towards Newcastle. In about half an hour or so I'll be hitting the small village of Fenwick, and after that I've got to skip across the A1, which could be interesting. But so far so good, really enjoying it. Right, we'll leave the 4x4 track here and we'll go through wood. And there's the signs for St Oswald's Way and St Cuthbert's Way. It's really well signposted, the old route. Oh, it's a lot cooler in here. Yes, quite pleasant. That's interesting. I wonder if they're edible. Yeah. What I'm going to do with this route, I'm going to add a bit extra on. I don't know which bit yet. I haven't decided. But the part of it I've never been before, so anything could happen. I'd have liked to have done some overnight camping, but unfortunately at the moment with injuries, I'm not capable. I did try doing one earlier on this year, but I managed 13 miles in driving rain and wind and had to tap out. Actually the ultimate sin for me is had to get Andrea to come and pick me up. Right, 4x4 track here, and I think it's, yeah, straight over. Should be out of this wood shortly. A mate of mine took up long distance walking, doing 5 mile a day, and he's been at it 2 weeks now, and we don't know where the bloody hell he is. Oh, that was a pile of ross shit. I'm going to take it back for allotments, but they're not. Some sort of mushroom. Then again, you won't get a horse up here. There's some wonderfully weird fungi up here. Never seen anything like this before. Another one there. That's strange. Right guys, 1:10, and that's Fenwick in front of me. You see the sea beside it, and I'm going to have my lunch. I'm going to sit here. You can see I've spread out like a puddle. And for lunch today, it's a gastronomic orgy of delight. A Scotch tutor, a boiled egg, and a corned beef sandwich. The reason I'm having a corned beef sandwich is because I've suspended being a vegetarian for a while. Main reason being, last Saturday at Carlton Smithies Club in the meat raffle. Me and Andrea won a pork joint, and there was no way I'm going to let her have all that. Right, I've come down that big hill and I'm now in Fenwick. Nice little village, very clean and tidy. And then at bottom of the road you can see A1, which I'm going to have to try and dash across. And then it's a downhill then to a place called Fenwick Granary, I think it is. Yeah, lovely little place this. But you have to have a bob or two to live here, that's for sure. Right, I'm coming up to A1. Can we get across? Yeah, go for it. And we're there, just as that big wagons come past. I've always got this fear, me, you know, when I'm running across the road like that. A water bottle or camera or something dropping off like and it getting crushed. Look at all these old farm buildings, all derelict. What a shame. I could do with some of this arras fencing, you know, here for allotment. Wonder if we could get it all on top of the car, eh? Yeah, it just seems such a waste, this. Farm watch. You'd bugger all to watch. Yeah, crikey, make a right property that would, if it were done up. Big question now is, do I go that way, which I fancy doing, but I don't know where it ends up, or going up here, where I do know. I think I'll go up here and then see if I can add a bit on when I get to the top. That seems a sensible thing to do. Right, this is where it gets interesting, because my footpath goes down there. You can see Lindisfarne Island there, and that's where I'm supposed to go, but I fancy going down there. So I'm going to give this a try and just see where it fetches me out. Well, this ain't gone to plan. I've lost the sea completely. So I'm currently walking across a farmer's field and we'll see where I end up. Right, I'm on coast after me excursion through fields. There's Lindisfarne Castle in the middle. As you can see, the tide's fully out, so hopefully I should be able to walk along shore all the way back to Causeway. Usually you can see Bamburgh Castle from here, but it seems a bit misty. Just going for this gate here. Watch them, watch all these sheep scatter. Well, I got that wrong, didn't I? I'm not too sure whether it might be easier climbing this fence and walking along this beach rather than ploughing through this grass. I think if I find a gap in fence, I think I'm going to drop down onto the beach. Right, I've dropped down onto, I said beach before, but I won't call this a beach. It's more like a marsh. Walking's a bit easier now. I've just phoned Andrea up, she's coming to Causeway to pick me up. Otherwise it'd mean me walking back to Berwick, which is about another 11 miles. And there's no way on this earth I'd be able to do that. Couldn't do that for a gold pig. So, half an hour steady walking should see me to Causeway. And I can tap out then. Get back for a well-earned swally. This looks interesting. I think it's in better days. No, he's still in. Will it start? No. Fordson Major. It's about as knackered as what I am. I don't really can see them or hear them, but there's hundreds of birds flying. You must be able to hear them. Fantastic that. Should be back in half an hour or so. I just spoke to Andrea and she's agreed to come to pick me up at Lindisfarne Causeway. You know, which I appreciate. Otherwise it'd mean me walking about another 12-13 mile back to Berwick, and I don't think I'd have made it if I'd have still been walking this time tomorrow. I shouldn't really have added that 3 mile on, that extra 3 mile. But I thought going from St Cuthberts Cave just to Lindisfarne Causeway, it's only about 9 mile. And I usually like to do 13-14. But it's taking its toll, this one. Taking its toll. But still good fun, and I've enjoyed it. Started out really sunny, but now, you can see, it's, you know, clouded over, and it's pretty cool now. But still, I've enjoyed it. That's the last thing you want to see, that innit, caution, cows with calves can be aggressive. I think I'm going to be stopping right next to that fence there, and if they start coming towards me, I'm over it. To keep my eye on these guys. There's one thing I've learnt, keep away from them, if you can. As you can gather, I got through Cowfield okay. In fact, they never even looked up, they were more interested in eating grass. Hardest part was avoiding all cowpats. When you look out here, it's hard to believe that when the tide's in, the water comes in virtually where I'm standing. In fact, I've got an interesting story about cowpats. I know a bloke like, he'd been out at pub, got drunk, and he decided to take a shortcut home through a cow field. Anyway, halfway through he dropped his flat cap, and he had to try 6 caps on before he found his own. I almost there, about 100 yards to go. You see these big concrete blocks? There's thousands of them all the way up the coast. They were tank traps, and they were put there during the Second World War to stop any invasion. You know, if anybody landed, like, obviously they're not going to be able to get through those. Right, there's the car in the middle of the shop waiting for me. So we'll just get in there, back to the caravan. Very large swally. And there we are, the causeway. And there she is, going to pick me up. Right folks, that's another walk done. Thanks for watching if you've got this far. About the walk, about 12 miles, started out really well, up towards and past St Cuthberts Cave. It was warm, sunny, I had to strip off at one time. Then at the back end, it started getting dark and cold and damp, you know, and I had a bit of trouble with my Achilles tendon. It was giving me quite a bit of pain, so I phoned Andrea up, and thankfully she came to Causeway and picked me up. Otherwise I'd have probably still been out there now. If anybody would like to make any comments, you know, I'd appreciate them. I'd like to just say to Chris, I don't use a box brownie, but the bit about getting old, like, I will probably agree with you on that bit. And if anybody wants to subscribe, that'd be great, that as well. One final thing I'd like to do is to thank my daughter Charlotte and her partner James for putting these videos together. Otherwise they just wouldn't happen, because as regards modern technology I just haven't a clue. So a big thank you to you two. And I'd just like to finally close now by saying stay classy, stay safe out there, and I'll see you on the next one.